left Christianity and fundamentalism, I realized that the oldest, most traditional, extremist versions of Christianity don't like when women are in charge. Baptist, Calvinistic denominations view women as inferior. Not every church, obviously. Some are more progressive, some are more, conservative, liberal, what have you. But they don't want women to be in charge. And we've talked about this before. Churches teach its members, especially women, that if women are in charge, it's a judgment and punishment from God because you don't have a male headship, male divine leadership. Because when you see a perfect God as a masculine presence, you will automatically view manhood and masculinity as a more viable, more respectable, and the peak of authority. That's one reason why fundamentalist Christians just don't want feminine leadership. They actually believe that if a woman is in charge, it's a scourge on the leadership. It's a judgment. Similar to how electing a assaulter of women who's a felon is a judgment on our country. And I'm an atheist. I don't believe in divine judgment. But I think that sometimes we get what we deserve because we have no common sense. And as a people, what does that say about us? What does it say about a society that doesn't view women with the respect she deserves? Women being in charge is a wonderful thing. History has taught us women are amazing leaders. Women are the more natural leaders. And there's a reason for that. Women hunt. Women provide. You go to the animal kingdom, you will see that the animals that are female are the hunters. They're the ones that are in charge. We call them matriarchies. And I'm not saying that women should always be leaders. I'm saying history has shown us that most of the best periods of peace, progress, and social change happened during periods where women were in charge. Catherine the Great, Elizabeth I and II, Mary, Victoria, Margaret Thatcher. And those are just a dozen of the more modern. Cleopatra. The point I'm trying to make is that almost every time a well-educated woman is in charge, good things happen. And there's nothing wrong with having a male leader, as long as that male leader is the most qualified with the most consistent integrity. If a man had run who was, even if the person is white or any nationality or orientation, as long as the people we choose is the best person for the job, I don't care if they're white, male, female, non-binary, trans, it just doesn't matter. But when the least qualified, the most dangerous, a predator is selected as president, that tells you a lot about our society. I would rather have a monkey in the White House than a predator. Monkeys, There's a reason why women will always choose the bear. Bears don't kill you while you sleep in a bed. They just don't. You might be eaten out in the wild, but not in your own home, not in your own bed. And that's the whole point. If men and women don't see women as positive leaders, they don't see women as worthy as sitting at the table, or any group of people, as long as you're experienced, educated, and are the most equipped, anything that keeps somebody from choosing you as the leader, we need to start asking ourselves, are we bigots? And all of the churches I've been to my entire life, they wouldn't even consider a woman. She might as well be from outer Pluto because they're not going to choose her. And a woman I was at a church, they fired her for being a woman after 3 years of being the music minister. It's so terrible. And it's so sad. How many churches have been ripped apart because the man they chose just wasn't qualified? Well, I'm pretty sure there was a qualified woman or somebody else that was much more qualified. Because Christians, they like what's good on paper. They like what they like. Even if it's not good for us, they'll still vote for it because why wouldn't they? These people have been proven to consistently want what's not good for them. And unfortunately, there's not much we can say about it. And it's so sad. Women are taught and men are taught. Can you imagine boys being taught that women are inferior? That hearing a woman speak is a judgment from the Creator. You don't think that impacts how men see their wives? That women are incapable of being in charge? That their brains are smaller and less developed? I mean, Charlie Kirk believed that about black male pilots. I don't even want to know how he viewed women. Utter abhorrent behavior. And if you don't see women or any group as 100% human, valuable, not for what you can get from them, but because they exist and are wonderful people, what are you in the world thinking? These aren't safe communities. And if you're lucky to find a church that notices women, views them as equal potential leaders as men, and teaches their generation and the next generations how to treat women and non-white heterosexual men as equals, that's the only real safe part of the religion that there could be. Women being in charge is a blessing. Women sometimes being in charge is a gift. Just like having a child is a gift, if that's your passion. Just like having a partner could be a good thing. I'm not saying that women should always be in charge, but we need to even consider people that don't look like Donald Trump if they're qualified, experienced, and have some good ideas. And in the denominations I grew up in, women just would never even be on a ballot. They wouldn't even be at an interview. Because if you don't have a penis, you aren't even considered. And these kind of groups, they see women not as fully functioning adults. They see them as infantilized children in adult bodies. They see women as the place people come out of. the place where you stick certain things, but they don't see them as wonderful gifts in society. They see them as vending machines, appliances, and as an incubator. Because if men really valued women for who they really were, they wouldn't remove their reproductive rights, abortion access. They wouldn't try to limit and get rid of no default divorce. They would have such stringent anti-assault laws and anti-stalking laws. They would protect women more fervently than anything else. Because if men respected femininity, homophobia, transphobia would cease to exist. If you don't view women as equally valuable, that's why they call people the F word, why they call trans people the T word. Because they don't view femininity as anything but less than. And it's so sad because womanhood is a spectrum. It's not biological. It's not DNA. It's who you are, if that's who you are. If everyone viewed women with respect, women would not be dying unable to get the health care they need. And more women die during abortion bans than they do without them, because it's not about protecting the unborn. It's not about protecting the mother. It's about protecting male privilege. And until we see toxic masculinity as the cancer it really is, we will continue generation after generation birthing our oppressors and creating incels. And not all men are dangerous. But until it's no men, it's all men.